welcome back to Jamie and Tarot and our journey through the Major Arcana. This week's card is the Strength card. It's card number 8. And in this card, it has a woman and she's bent over petting a lion. They're friends, they're friendly, they have a relationship between the two, possibly where they help each other. The lion represents the strength. He's king of the jungle. For me, when I get this card, it is usually a very positive card. I rarely get this card in a reading where it comes through negative. If it's surrounded by a lot of negative cards, I think it still usually comes through as positive, as you have the strength and you have the ability, or something will come about that will give you strength. Also in this card is the yellow, which brings in energy, and the nature in the background, which is a feminine nature. And we have the figure 8, or the infinity sign, over her head, which symbolizes balance. And also notable in this card, and I think it comes through in a lot of cards, is the flowers that are around. And that's growth, and it's femininity. And a lot of times it binds the two together. It'll be around his neck. But he's not being trapped by her. It's a relationship between the two. So that's how the traditional card comes through. Let's take a look at some of my other decks. I always like to show you the Cat Pierce. Again, if you're a new reader, this is a nice deck if you like to know what the traditional meanings are. And the graphics are very beautiful on it. Here's the Strength card. And as with all of our cards, it will say on the card what the general meaning of the card is, which is courage, strength, and control. To me, I usually get this control in a positive way, a positive control, not an overbearing, not someone trying to take your power away. I get this as you have the power, you have the control, and positive control, not negative control. Our next deck we look at is the Dark Mansion Tarot, one of my favorites. This is Tarot Tech. And this is how the Strength comes through. Again, with the lion. He looks a little angry. He's a little grouchy in that. Maybe it's because his strength is coming through and it's to change a situation that your sitter is not happy with. That's what's interesting about all these other cards, and why I do this journey through the Major Arcana with these different decks, because when you start reading cards and you start reading them intuitively, you'll find a deck that really speaks to you. Maybe it's not the traditional deck. I think I told you that a lot of times the traditional deck, I like to know what the meanings are. I like to know what the symbolism is, but I won't necessarily be able to pull, like for this card, that you're angry at someone and it's time for you to speak up about the situation. Or sit back and let someone else, your best friend, your spouse, someone else in your work group, maybe they're going to speak up and you're just going to sit back. And you have power when you sit back and let other people take control of a situation or handle a situation, when maybe you would have done it in the past. Let someone else do it. In this card, there's the, it's got more of an orange background. It does have the sun, which is, again, energy, and it has a lot of fruit, not necessarily flowers, and the lion isn't bound by the flowers. And she has a brooch, that's the infinity sign. So I just like how the different artists will pull in the traditional symbolism. I also like how she is wearing a very masculine attire, but still looks very feminine. It's very nice about this card. Okay, our next deck is Curious Creatures deck by Chris Ann. This is my go-to deck. I love this deck. And her strength is very interesting. It shows up like this. So what's interesting about this is that in the traditional, it's the lion, and possibly the opposite of a lion is a lamb, where the lambs are very docile and very innocent, though she's the black sheep, or she's a sheep. So maybe she's turning the, making decisions or speaking out about something that is not the norm, not go with the flow, and she has the strength to do that. We have the sun in the background and also the nature, and she's got the flowers are reflected in her crown, which I love that she's wearing a crown. And then she's just holding on to her infinity sign, so it's showing up there. The next deck I'm going to show you is also a Chrysan deck. It is the Muse Tarot. And this is an interesting deck because when you go out of their out of her Major Arcana into the cups and the wands and the swords and the pentacles, it shows up differently. It shows up as different elements. So it's very nice. And this is how the strength card comes through. Again, a lion. Very nice lion. Very bold, very strong. And she's sitting on the lion. He's taking control. She's a little passive, though she's got the red dress on. So she's showing power. Red is a power color. She's got the infinity sign. And this one's interesting. It has the pyramids in the background, which pyramids can mean mathematical. They could go in the pharaohs, like a stairway to heaven or getting closer to heaven. And then also, which I pull on a lot, the pyramid is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I go to that a lot because the base level of the having a hard time saying that, hierarchy of needs is that is the main things you need: shelter, water, food, security. That's your base. And then at the top of the pyramid, it goes to self-actualization. At the top of the pyramid, it goes to self-actualization. I'm having a hard time saying that too. And then what I like about that is your base needs are also your root chakra. So the red is reflected there. Very nice card. Okay, our next deck we're going to look at is the Mystical Moments by Katrin Wiltstein. And this card looks like this. Love this deck too. This is a new deck. And the lion here looks a little sad, and it's almost like she has to take the lead, so that the lion, normally strong, normally the king of the jungle, can be more passive, and she'll take that role. It's also interesting, well, she has the yellow, and the yellow is as strong in the traditional card, and she's wearing that. And then we have the nature in the background. And the infinity sign, I don't think shows up here. It must be somewhere. They must sneak it in somewhere. But a very nice card. Very nice card, and very different than, say, this card or this card. But all the same general meaning. And that's what's nice about reading intuitively, is you can pick up intuitively what you think the message is coming through, or what you're feeling that message is coming through for your sitter, for your the questions that you might be asking, or that your sitter might be asking. I do have one more deck that I want to show you, because it's the general meaning of the strength card is very straightforward in my readings usually. And this is the Deviant Moon card. This is a masculine deck. And it's very different. It comes through very differently. So I just wanted to show you quick how the how the Strength card comes through for him. And he is sticking his head. He's telling this fish or this creature that he's stronger. It almost reminds me of Sigmund and Roy. And again, the pyramids reflected in the background and the yellow. So that's the Strength card today. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the Strength card. If you ever see it come through differently, I'd love to hear about it. Write it down in the comments. Again, tell me what your favorite decks are. If you've chosen based on watching my videos, if you like any of these decks and have purchased them because of that, that would make me very happy since I love these decks so much. And that's why I like to show and share them with you. Join me on next week's video where we talk about the Hermit card. See you then.